I'm going to get you qualified to utilize SKU Grid.
Let me sober up. Let me face things over and over again.
What's up, guys? TJ here with another Fulfillment by Amazon video / eBay / e-commerce video. If you like these types of videos, please like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Also, hit that bell icon so you can get notifications whenever I release new videos. Alright, so today is a promise video that I promised you guys a couple days ago. So I released a video about how I made thousands of dollars doing drop shipping from Amazon or wherever to eBay. And the software that I use to kind of keep up with all of that mess is SKU Grid, SKUGRID. I will leave a link to it in the description section below. Also, if you have any immediate questions about it, the easiest way to get in touch with me is going to be either putting a comment in the comment section below or going to my website, which is www.tjlovelady.com, and shoot me a message there. Or you can go to my Facebook page, tjlovelady.com/tjloveladytube. I know it's a lot of information, but I will put it all down in the comment section below. If you do have any questions, because SKU Grid is, you know, a different kind of animal, and I've went through the battle with it, and I'm going to show you how I have all of my stuff set up. So what I did was, so I wouldn't have all of my items on there, I just did like a free trial. So right now they are offering a free 7-day trial where you can just kind of test out things, get everything set up, and you won't have to use any credits, because it is a credit based software. So they're going to give you 999,000 credits to use, which you're not gonna be able to use all those credits, especially if you're just starting out. But that's just going to give you enough credits to get everything kind of set up, because it is kind of a little cumbersome to get it started and to get everything kind of loaded in there and make sure, you know, Amazon's talking to eBay, eBay's talking to Amazon, eBay's talking to Walmart, eBay's talking to Wayfair, wherever, however you're doing it, whatever it is. And I guess we can just go ahead and get started now. Alright, we are in SKU Grid at this point and moment. So what I did was I made like I said, SKU Grid does have a trial right now where you can get 999,000 credits just to get everything kind of set up. So I just set up a trial one so it wouldn't like take 3 days to load everything that I have in my store here. Alright, so we're going to start with the settings. Go to General, or click on Settings, then go to General. And normally I have this run checker, so 1 check equals 1 credit. So you know, this is going to start getting where you have to get more credits when you start getting more items, because 1 check does equal 1 credit. And I normally check mine every 3 hours. You can check yours every hour. You can check them every 2 hours. You can check them every 12 hours. I really recommend checking them at least twice a day, because Amazon items generally swing in price. Now, if you have something like, if you're doing it from Overstock or Wayfair or Walmart, the price is probably not going to swing as much, but Amazon, the prices are going to swing hourly or minutely. The next thing is, I'll just leave it at 50. Stretch, whatever, no, we're not in vacation mode, but if you were in vacation mode, you could change that. And I disabled this digest. Alright, store specific. This is going to be the same. I just leave it the same as my default for everything. So if you did this on Amazon as well as eBay, you can have them different if you want them to. Notifications. Always put in your email address so they can send notifications. Ultimately, it is up to you to go into your SKU Grid as well as your eBay and verify that everything is repricing correctly. Sometimes it can go haywire, and it may, you know, reprice your items like super low, or it may reprice them super high. But if you have all your settings in, then you shouldn't have any issues with that. If you don't have your settings right, especially when you first start out, you can get into a lot of trouble, and nobody got time for that. Alright, so I normally leave profit formulas alone, because we will set our profit formula here in a little while. But if you did want to change that, you can go here and make changes to that. Like say for instance, you have, I know a girl said that she uses her reward points and she includes that in her pricing model, and you can do that within this. Okay, the general repricer. So this is going to be either your safe repricing or your super safe repricing. I normally do the super safe repricing because I want that extra look at my items to make sure that I'm not going to sell anything that is sold out. I've never really run into an issue where something has been sold out, but that could happen and I don't want it to happen. So I do have the super safe repricing on and the safe repricing off. I think you can only have one or the other, or both of them off. Alright, so this is where you get into your settings. I'm just going to go through the eBay settings. So you click on marketplaces, then eBay, and then US or wherever you're at, whatever country you're in. And I'm going to show you how to get your keys. So I already have my keys loaded in from my my eBay store, but I'm going to show you basically what needs to happen. You click on get your keys here. You're going to say okay, and it's going to pull up this screen. Then you're going to click on this for authentication, and then you're going to sign in. Obviously I'm not going to do it because I already have this store loaded into this SKU grid. But I'm going to, you would just click agree, and then what it's going to do is it's going to take you back to this screen. You're going to click on check your settings. It's going to take you back to your settings. So then click back on marketplace and eBay and whatever country you're in, and your keys should be loaded in here. You should, normally this is going to be blank, but if you have your keys loaded in, it'll automatically populate all of this information. All right. So your default quantity is going to be, I normally put it to 1 because I don't want somebody, you know, if you put like 5 and then maybe they only have 3 available, and if somebody come and orders 5 of them, you won't be able to fill that order, and you don't want to get into that space. So always, I normally just leave my quantity at 1. And what this does is it updates your sold. So say for instance you sold an item, you know, you had 1 listed, you sold it. It's going to wait 30 minutes, and then if you sold it in 30 minutes, it's going to relist that item with a quantity of 1. So it's going to take a lot of you know, time where you don't have to go back and relist your items. It's going to automatically do that for you. This does cost 1 credit per updated item. So if you're selling hundreds of items, you're going to have enough credits to make sure you have enough for your checks and updating your quantity. Now you can do this yourself. It's just, you know, if you want to pay the credit just for it to do it automatically, then you can here. All right, this is going to be if your price increases or decreases. I don't normally mess with pennies, but if it's like $1 or more, I want to go ahead and adjust the price. But you know, if it's 43 cents, if it's 19 cents, you know, because eBay and Amazon, you know, they change their prices pretty regularly during the day, just really to win the buy box, you know. So I just do it as $1 at $1. It will reprice only if it's $1 above or below or more. So I don't round my numbers up. I like having odd numbers. If I said it, if it's at $6.63, then that's what I want it to be. I don't want to round up or down. I don't generally use this because if you have it set to a certain price and then, like, say for instance it goes out of stock, this is saying that they can set your price to $9,999. That way nobody will buy it and you won't lose your listing. And then when it comes back in stock, you know, it'll automatically change the price back to what it needs to be. I don't use this function because if it's out of stock, I just want it to go ahead and end the item, and then I have it set to where it will re-put back, or I have to go back in and look at it to relist it. Auto update eBay stock, I put that this yes. Auto relist days and lots. So I don't use this because, like I said, if something goes out of stock, I want to go ahead and end the item, and then I can go back in and manually relist it once it does have stock available. And I list items every single day, so it's not like, that item is going to be detrimental to my business. All right, auto update eBay price, yes. Calculating eBay selling price. So this is a part that a lot of people that don't know about SKU grid, this is kind of where they mess up because they don't do this. So let's switch to Wizard View. And so what you want to do is you want to load in your numbers for selling. So this is going to be whatever your profit margin is. I set mine at 12.5. You can set it at 30, 40, 50, 90, whatever you want. You can set it at whatever you want to. This is your profit margin that you want to make on each item. Now, mind you, if your margin is too high, then you may not get as many sales if your margin is a little bit lower. Now, this is your minimum margin in dollars. So this is going to be the absolute minimum that you're going to make per item sold. So this is going to be really good for lower priced items, items $10 or less, where you're going to make at least $3 for your items, because of course you want to get paid for your item. Now, if you're just starting out and you want to just get some sales under your belt, you may set this lower, but you want to make sure that all your fees and stuff are accounted for on this page. All right, so your PayPal, Amazon fees percent is going to be 2.9%. We're talking about eBay here, and it's going to be 30 cents for your PayPal fees. And then your other fees is going to be 10%. And if you are a top rated seller, or if you have a store, this may be different. It may be 9%. But if you are just starting out, it's going to be 10% for your fees. All right. So now with Amazon, I do no with the shipping, because you're going to list everything over $35, or you're going to be shipping with Amazon Prime. So you're not going to have a shipping cost. If you are shipping from like Walmart or something like that, then you need to calculate the shipping within your listing. So, Walmart's going to give you the $5.99 shipping or whatever it is, and it's going to add that into the price. I don't convert the currency. If you are in a different country, then you may have to convert the currency. But if you are in the U.S. and you're selling to U.S., then it's going to be no and no. And so we're going to go ahead and estimate our price. So if we have a price that's $100, it's going to reprice your item to $129.51. It's going to use all of this to calculate that price. So that is working like I want it to. Alright, so you can go right here and you can set up some different formulas for different suppliers if you want to. This is your Buybox Owner settings. I use the Buybox Owner algorithm, and that's simply because when I list my items, normally I generally list the item from the Buybox Owner. I don't go into like the lowest price. Some people go into the lowest price. Sometimes I do go into the lowest price. It kind of depends on what it is. But just for this video's sake, I set this to yes. If there is any shipping cost, like say for instance, I'm ordering and I have it on the lowest cost within the buy box, that may have a shipping cost, and I don't want to exclude that shipping cost just in case that does change. So I will put that include shipping costs in the Buybox Owner algorithm. I got mine to check every 3 hours. Like I said, they do change prices very regularly during the day. The maximum margin you want to have, I put $15. You can change this to whatever you want to. This is just what I have, what I set this store to. How much do you want to undercut the competitor's price? I put by 5 cents. You can change that to whatever, and you can change this at any time. If you start seeing your items, selling a lot, but you're not making as much as you want to make, you can, change your prices, here. Or if you're making, a lot of money, or if you don't have as many sales, but you are making more money per items, you may want to, adjust your price so you can get more sales. Then you can adjust that here. I don't normally set it to the maximum price if I can't beat the competitor. Sometimes it's just about somebody seeing your listing over seeing somebody else's listing. They may not do any kind of pricing changes. So I just set that to no. So that's pretty much it for the eBay settings. So I'm gonna go over here to items, and we're going to talk about the items. So I loaded in a few items, and I'm going to show you what it's supposed to look like versus what it's not supposed to look like. Okay, so when we go up here, you can import and export. I just added these in just one at a time because I don't want to load everything into here. But if you want to load everything into here, you would go onto eBay, list your items, and you would push this import export button, and then you would push this import from marketplace, and then you would say import all items from eBay, and it will take quite a bit of time for it to upload, especially if you have a lot of items. Now, every time you list an item, you need to make sure that you upload it here. Now, when it uploads, it's going to look like this. It's going to have this US import, no vendor, 00 none, blah, 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 blah. And it may have a price, but it's not going to have a photo. It's not going to have anything to compare it to. Now, this is what it should look like when you get done. It should have a photo. It should have a reference number. It should have a compare to number, which is going to point to this item on whatever compare site you're going to. It should have this supplier information, so it should automatically load this in. This is from Amazon, and this is the ASIN number. It should have the price that they have it listed for on Amazon. It should show whether it's in or out of stock. It's going to show you your profit, your estimated profit, which this one right here is not. This is not right. The estimated profit, but it should have a number here. It also should show your retail price of how much this item is on Amazon or wherever site you're using it. So it should load all this stuff in whenever you go in and edit it. So I'm going to show you how to do that. You're going to click on edit. Now, automatically when they're all listed, when you import everything into your SKU grid, it's all going to be paused. You're going to have to come in here and change it. So what you want to do is you want to go here to your reference ID. I don't normally put anything in here. I see some people put the item name here. You can, because it will show up, I believe here, this reference ID, it'll show like right here what it is, the name of it. If you want that, you can type that in here. That's not a required field. The only thing that is actually required is the seller's link. Now, when I first started out, I had a lot of problems with the links because, you copy the link and paste it here and then it won't update. Sometimes, depending on how you got to the item, it may, it may have a weird, like you see this extra stuff here. Sometimes that can mess with your SKU grid. So what you want to have is your Amazon, the name of the item, and then you want this number right here, which is going to be your ASIN. That's what you want to have in here. That way it can pull all the information from the site. I set this to default. Sometimes I do lowest fulfilled price. Sometimes I change the buy box. I just kind of play around with the settings to see which one works best for each item. You do want to update the supplier's info whenever you submit. Okay, so this right here should automatically load in. This is going to be your eBay item code, and if this doesn't load in here, you can get this from pull up your listing. You can get this this link, paste that in here. You're not going to do anything with this because we're going to use our default profit formula, which is what we just did. Now, if you wanted to change this, like say for instance, you knew this was going to be a hot selling item and you can make a little more money on it, you can go in here and change this. That way you can get a little bit more money, or you can individually price things without messing with your default. You can do that here. All right, so this I think is going to start on do not reprice. You just want to click on that and click to eBay USA or Amazon USA or whatever country you're in. This is going to be your item, your eBay item code. It should automatically load in. This right here is going to be initially set to yes. You're going to set this to no. That way it will unpause your repricing. This is going to be your selling formula. So you can click on here and make sure that the selling formula is going to be right. And it is. So it's using my default to price it, which that's this right here. And it's just an equation to make sure that everything is going to reprice correctly. Alright, then you're going to click update item, and it's going to load all of your stuff into SKU grid. And if you did it right, you should have a photo here. You should have your supplier information, the price, and all that stuff should kick in. Now, sometimes it doesn't do it automatically. So you may have to refresh the page a couple of times, wait a few minutes, then refresh it. But if it's been 5 minutes, and if it's been like 5 minutes and you haven't seen it reprice, then there's something wrong with your link. And you need to go in and make sure that you have the correct link, because if you don't, it's going to look like this. You see this right here? So let's go into edit. So now sometimes when you go here and you copy your link and it's the same exact process, it won't load in. And I'm not necessarily sure why it does this, but it does, and it's kind of annoying, especially if you're trying to list a bunch of items in one day and you can't get your items to load in. So this may be something that you will have to submit a question here and ask why this item won't, and they'll be able to tell you exactly why the item won't update into the system. But in order for them to reprice and to get all of the info, you need to make sure that it looks like this right here, or like this, or like this, because if it does not, then it's not going to reprice like it's supposed to. Now see, like your items that you have, your other items, so like this is an item that I have that I don't want to reprice because it is a private label item. I just leave it like this, and I won't change it. So I believe that's it for SKU grid. If you have any more questions, just put them in the comment section below. Also, if you have any questions, just go to my website, www.tjlovelady.com, and you can send me a message, and I will try to get you the help that you need. Thanks guys for watching.